Enough talk. Die, comrade!
Hey, stop! Why?
Level 857 Video Game Podcast.
Capcom steering Resident Evil 4 remake in a new direction. So, this has to be the most thorough news I've heard about a game that has never been announced yet. Because in essence, Capcom has never announced a Resident Evil 4 remake.
No, they haven't.
We have just taken it into we just made it happen. so Capcom's like, yo, I thought we were doing Code Veronica next, but since everyone's saying Resident Evil 4, we got to do this first. What if that was a deal?
Yeah.
So a company,
Imagine.
M2 was the company that was making the the remake for it, or apparently the so-called remake.
The rumored remake.
Yeah.
Isn't M2 a Sega company?
This is spelled different. That's AM2. I believe that's the Sega one.
Yes.
yeah.
So this is just M2.
Well,
M2.
With no
M2 did a lot of the emulation ports for Sega Ages. I remember that.
Yeah.
AM2.
Yeah, exactly.
M2?
But they're not a Sega company, though.
I don't think they're owned by Sega. I think
they did a lot of the Sega Ages for sure.
But this is a different company. But Capcom is like, all right, we don't know how the development is. Like, this is not going the right way. Obviously, people want a Resident Evil 4. It's going to be their flagship, biggest Resident Evil, basically. You don't want to flub this. Like, they don't want to flub this. Like, you want this to be your pinnacle at the moment, at least, especially on a new system. So they probably were making it. It was like, if they were making it, they probably had the kits for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And then the new systems came out, and they're like, you guys got to step it up. And if they're already in development for it, they're like, yo, I don't have the power to build this better than what we just did. And they're like, okay, hold on. Capcom's gonna step back in here. We're gonna direct this the way we want it to go. So they've got to polish some stuff up and stuff like that. That's what I assume is happening.
It's scary, man.
It's kind of like the Metroid Prime 4,
when they scrapped it.
Yeah, they're working on it. No, this is not going to work.
Right.
Get rid of that.
Doesn't meet our standards.
Yeah, get it out
of it.
According to their report, though, they're not getting rid of the company. They said their role is significantly reduced. So they're going to do a lot less, and other people are going to take over for the other parts. So
Scary.
they probably they might have the game already, laid out. Like all of that development might already be done in stages and stuff like that. But for graphics and effects and stuff like that, they're probably going to step in and say, we got this one now.
You know what's crazy?
I have a question for you,
go for
Resident Evil
What's that?
nuts, because you guys know so much more about it than me. Isn't Resident Evil 4 considered one of the best Resident Evil games?
Yeah, it's a lot of people's favorite game all
And
time.
you mentioned they're going in a new direction, just a new direction of companies. They're not going to change.
They're probably
up the
not
game
gonna
because
change
it
the
feels
game.
foolish to go and change the actual game.
Well, the thing is,
Wouldn't they pee off the core market, by changing it too much, right?
if they
I don't know. I'm just I'm asking you guys because you guys
It
know
may,
a lot
because
more
it's
about it than I
like
do.
people think it's like a perfect game. A lot of people, on a lot of lists of the best Resident Evils, that always hits the top, and they say, "Oh, it's the perfect blend of action and horror." So if they go in a new direction to make it more one or the other, they could mess with the balance. I don't know if it's a smart idea if they're going in that direction.
I think it's
It
more.
doesn't even need to be remade.
Yeah, I think it's more. I think it's more risky with 4. Actually, to add to what Chalk just said, it's more risky because it's more recent, and more polished. Like it came out so many damn times on so many damn systems.
It's auto
and it's
switch,
and it's
right now.
yeah, and it's
it
like
doesn't look,
it
looks like
it looks good. It still looks good to this day. I
It
think
looks good.
I think you for if you're still in the rhythm of doing the remakes, like 2 and 3. Code Veronica was on the Dreamcast, and that needs a remake so bad. And I think they have more room to not mess that up because the graphics are so poor, up to today's standards. And
universal.
And then you would get it probably would get like that Resident Evil 2 remake. That's how it would probably appear. But with Part 4. The graphics are still good,
and it's still in the same style of the remakes that Resident Evil 2
and I think there's a
remake
bigger gap to fail for Part 4 and piss off everyone who loves 4 than it is for Veronica.
I don't think it's so much of a thing as changing the gameplay. I think it's more of we wanted to play in the engine that we have Resident Evil 2 and 3 in.
Yeah.
As far as the controls and the graphics.
Yeah. Right.
So if you change that stuff, I don't think they're going to change much of the gameplay. Because I think they learned a lesson from Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
As far as changing little bits and pieces.
Yeah.
And people are going to nitpick and say that's worse than the original
exactly.
game.
Yeah.
But for Resident Evil 4, it's widely considered Capcom's Final Fantasy VII.
Right.
And if you want to put it like, okay, Final Fantasy VII was being made for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And then they cut that and changed the direction of that. They changed people who were working on it and everything. Same exact thing as this.
It's
basically.
odd because all right, Resident Evil 4 was like, it was probably one of the longest.
It's like 40 hours.
Yeah, it was one of the longest.
I think I had like 42 hours. In
It
that
was
shit.
the longest. Yeah, no, it was the longest.
I'm like, why is this so long?
Resident Evil.
Why is this game
It
so
literally
long?
was like just when you
Holy
thought it was over, it's like there's more stuff going on. You're like,
Holy
what
shit.
the?
And I enjoyed it. I loved the game.
And this
Don't
is
get me wrong.
before the open world like scene
Yeah.
happened. This is way before that. So in a sense, like that I can understand why it's considered like the best Resident Evil, but it really doesn't need a remake. And look, it's available on every freaking platform right now, upgraded and stuff. But
Let me finish my comparison to 7.
oh, okay,
Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
So the things they improved a lot of stuff in Resident Evil 7 based off the remake versus the original.
Resident Evil 7 or Final Fantasy?
Final Fantasy. I said Resident Evil 7. Okay.
I was about to say.
yeah,
Resident Evil 7.
I was
about to
Final
start spewing some hate.
I thought the same
Final,
thing.
Final,
Okay.
Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
In comparison. So you can change stuff in the game,
Mm-hmm.
even like as a diehard fan. If it's improved, it's improved, even if it's different. But obviously, I don't know what they're going to improve. If they change stuff in the story, if they change like places you go, maybe they'll streamline it, make it like paced better. I don't know what they'll do, but there are some improvements that it's not a perfect game.
Right.
Obviously, nothing is a perfect.
Nothing's
game.
ever really perfect.
No.
So
Except for
if they-
Shining Force.
So if you talk about them graphics, perfect. All right, whatever.
Last of Us 2, man. Last of Us 2.
Graphics ain't perfect. But so yeah, who's to say what they add to it to make it better or make it worse? But I kind of figure what they're gonna try and do is make it more like the newer remakes that they do.
If anything, with part 4, you add my complaint for that always was there was no horror. I was never terrified. Part 2, I was always terrified.
Yep.
3, not so much.
Remember the first trailer
Well, it was the
For what?
first.
for Resident Evil 4?
I do not.
I do.
The trailer when he was when there was like a dinner table and there was like curtains flowing and there was like a ghost that came out after him.
Oh, that wasn't even a thing.
No.
That's
No,
not-
never
yeah,
happened.
Yeah, it never happened.
But that was the first trailer.
yeah,
but-
that I think
Also, that's the first Resident Evil that changed, like, dramatically changed the format of how the gameplay was. Like, it wasn't
Yeah.
Actually, was it
fixed
tank
camera
controls?
It wasn't tank controls.
No, Codename Veronica wasn't tank control, was it?
I think
Oh,
it
was
was.
it?
I think it was.
Veronica was,
You
yeah.
think
It
it
was
was?
tank
Yes, it
control?
was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
But it
4
was
was
like
the first thing.
But it
Yeah.
was almost like a hybrid though, because it was actually because it was on the Dreamcast. It was moving, like there were some parts.
It wasn't
where
pre-rendered.
Well, it wasn't pre-rendered, and also the camera would be fixed on certain areas.
That would make
And
it
then-
scarier, though.
But also, the camera would pan in certain areas. Like I remember in one of the towers, you would walk from one side to the other, and I remember the camera would like,
But they had more control because it was polygons.
yeah, because it was polygons.
I just personally don't like the disrespect that just keeps happening to Resident Evil Code Veronica. They act like it
Yeah.
doesn't exist.
That didn't happen.
They act like it. They act like the game never happened.
That's
it's,
one of
it's,
the-
it's one of my favorites in the entire series. And if
Yeah,
they gave it
yeah,
the
yeah.
remake treatment, that I would be beyond excited for that more than Part 4.
Yeah.
Easily, man.
Pete, which Resident Evils did you play?
Yeah.
Any?
Pete.
I was on mute. I played like a crap ton. Yeah, rookie mistake. I played a crap ton of Revelations.
Okay.
I
Revelations is
absolutely
dope.
love that game. Like
Revelations is great.
I played it twice now, and I played it on Switch, so I played Switch versions, and I just love it. I jumped into my pants a few times in that game, and then Part 2 was a little bit different. Part 2 was quite fun, but I got a thing about games on boats. I don't know what it is in the water and stuff like that, but anyway,
Blue
I just love that game.
Blue
Now
Stinger.
I did try Resident Evil, the first 2 back in the day when they first came out on the systems, and I didn't get them. I found them cheesy.
Oh, they were.
Like
Oh, extremely cheesy.
Oh, they were.
Oh, the acting was so
I found them
terrible.
cheesy.
But it's like a B movie, you know.
Yeah, it's a
like,
B
why you-
movie with
Yeah.
gore and guts.
But I must say, like going down the stairs, is it 1 or 2 when you go downstairs and this thing jumps out of the wall or something like that? That kind of freaked me out.
Probably
but
2.
no, I haven't
2.
played a lot of those. I don't like a lot of creepy games, to be honest with
Okay.
you. I'm a big,
So
big
very
coward.
you're very similar to Chuck.
Chuck.
Nah, but
Yeah,
Chalk's way
I
worse.
like games in which I can see everybody coming at me, so I can mow them down with my big gun.
My man.
Very
Yeah,
similar.
very similar to
about?
Chalk.
You guys are like two pieces of pie,
We're
man.
kindred, man. We're kindred spirits. Man.
When you replay Gears, let me know. I got your back.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. Because I like Gears, I don't like Gears, but Resident Evil just hasn't grabbed me. It never grabbed me as a franchise. outside of Revelations. And I know you guys say Revelations is not even a Resident Evil game, really, right?
No, it is.
No, it is. It definitely is. Absolutely.
Revelations was definitely a Resident Evil game. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the online for Revelations, I loved. I played a boatload of that. Like, oh, pardon the pun, but yeah, I played a lot of the online on that.
I like what you
co-op.
did
It's
there.
even
I like
better
that.
in Revelations 2, the online modes that they have. It's better in Revelations because Revelations 2, they kind of just made everything smoother, and it's just the game. They're underrated. The Revelation
They are.
games.
Yeah.
I think so. I guess I shouldn't say that because I haven't played them all, right? So, but I absolutely love them. Like they're like I've played Revelations 1, I believe 3 times. Well, no, I haven't finished my 3rd playthrough. That's how much I enjoyed that game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just atmosphere and stuff like that was really fun.
I think Revelations 2 plays the best out of all of them. I think it plays the best.
Oh,
Before
we got some people
It's
feeling left
creepier
out
than-
in the
than
chat.
Wait,
Real
before
quick.
you go on to that, just gonna say wrap up. Final thoughts on the whole.
No, I was gonna say, since we were talking about Resident Evil, can I quickly talk about that online mode that they added that's gonna come out for Resident Evil 8,
Oh, the verses.
The Village?
Oh,
Yeah,
reverse.
yeah, the verse mode. Yeah. So just to quickly wrap that up,
Yep.
I think that's a bad decision. I think it's a bad game. I don't care about that game at all because I wanted it. Like, why wouldn't you make it the group of people who are the good guys fighting hordes of zombies online at the same time, or make it like a multiplayer online game?
What was that? What was the one that came out years ago? That
Reggie was talking about,
plays. Reggie plays. Was it? Is it Outbreak?
Outbreak.
Outbreak.
So
Yeah,
he
yeah.
wanted it to be like Outbreak,
It should have been Outbreak.
but the graphics were weird.
And you're fighting
Looked
each
like a
other?
comic, and you're shooting at each other.
That's stupid.
Like, why wouldn't you just
That's
be
stupid.
zombies then?
Give me a crowd of zombies. Give me Jill, Chris, and all them dudes just mowing them down with my friends. That's what it should have been, and they dropped the ball there again.
It was a
dropped the
simple
ball.
Again.
It was a simple thing they could have done.
Again.